Hello wonderful people, so in this video we will be covering the Gemini build for healers. So I know if you see a lot of healers or people shouting for elite raids and they say, oh, we need a healer or Gemini spam healer. So this is a spec for the build. So now this build will work for any power. So the only two things you actually need is, depending on movement type, this will change. But you need Pheromone Bloom, which is an awesome low supercharge cost, and the cooldown is 30 seconds. And then this one will depend on your movement type. So for air for air power, you will have Dust Off. For acrobatics, it will be Perfect Poise, and for super speed, it will be Dash Attack. But I would recommend having acrobatics for this build because you can use Perfect Poise anywhere in any raid. With dash attack, you are restricted by your movement type. So if you go to the episode before, like the Long Live the Legion, in one of the raids where you are grounded to the floor, you won't be able to use dash attack. It vanishes from your loadout. So I would recommend Perfect Poise. Is a stronger shield compared to the rest. And now in terms of the loadout, so this is a water-based loadout, so you can run this 2 ways. So at the moment my Scrapper Soul Cloak is not that high, okay, so which is why I am running this power, which gives me that extra supercharge generator. But once your Scrapper Soul Cloak is high enough, you won't need this, and you can just run this with a 4-man or 8-man shield. Okay, so the loadout is very simple. So you have the Solus of Sea, which is your, of course, your blue pool or water you put on the floor. And then you have Soothing Mist, which is a priority heal, and then Mending Wave, which is your 4-man heal. And then, like I said before, depending on the level of your Scrapper Soul Cloak, if it's like 140 to 160, you may need to switch this out and have Drowned. But if you are running with a second healer who is spamming the Eye Gemini, you can get away with it and just use a bubble, okay, or a 8-man shield. It's totally down to you. And or you can, if you want, you can go ahead and use if your Scrapper Soul Cloak is high enough. Where is it gone? Riptide, which allows you to put down 2 circles, okay, and it also cools down the powers of your last used water power. So totally down to you, okay, just depends on your level of Scrapper Soul Cloak. Okay, so for this instance, because mine is not that high, I will be using this. So in terms of artifacts, it's very simple. Again, you need a Scrapper Soul Cloak, purple healing ray. This is a must, okay, so every time you use a powers, gives you that extra power regen, alright, which is perfect. And it also buffs up your priority or your group heals. And then of course the Eye Gemini. So in terms of artifacts, you need to make sure your head socket either is the Pheromone Bloom supercharged head socket or your Perfect Poise one. Then the other ones are just two standard healer ones, so Fortified Restoration, Accelerated Mending Wave, you have Power Efficiency, so all of your superpowers use less power, which is very useful as a healer. So more power you have, but less power you use, the more heals you can put out as a healer. And then Regenerative Shielding, and then the other ones are totally up to you, but I've chosen a Absorption Adapter, so I get that extra protection when needed. And in terms of your leg socket, nothing too important there. Tumbling Master, you may need this as a support role to roll out of one-shots or the fire like in FFE. It's a very handy socket to have. And then in terms of your spec itself, so super powered, okay, you can go hybrid, but you will have to rely on your weapons to regenerate power, which is why I would recommend going super powered. Then of course you max out your critical healing chance, magnitude, go full restoration, then put the rest into might and power, so you get that extra power pool to spam a lot of your heals onto the group. So I believe that is all for the loadout. In terms of how to use it, very simple. Put down your circle, hit your number 4 power, which is your supercharge generator if your Scrapper Soul Cloak is not high enough, and then start hitting your supercharges. So enough of this. I will show you an example of this in use in FFE, where I actually use this loadout in the elite raid. So that is all for the video. Thank you for watching.
I've been cold for so long. One touch and we're igniting, setting fire to it all. You know these flames ain't going out. This building is crumbling to the ground. Don't think that we can stop it now, 'cause baby our love is gonna burn down. You know these flames ain't going out. This building is crumbling to the ground. Don't think I wanna stop it now, 'cause baby our love is gonna burn it down.